The big C. Yes, all of us in the medical field knows exactly what that is. Cancer. It is one of the most difficult conversations I've ever had with a patient, letting them know they have colon cancer. Now, rarely does cancer ever give us a notice that it's there. It doesn't come like knocking on the door, say, hey, I'm right here. It's almost as if it's a cat burglar just sneaking in the house, letting itself be known at the worst possible time. Colon cancer is like that. Rarely does it cause symptoms. And by the time you have symptoms, it is too late. In today's video, we're going to discuss colon cancer. We'll discuss what exactly is it, what treatment options do we have for this, what are the risk factors and some of the symptoms you may be having if you have colon cancer. And at the very end of the video, I'm going to give you tips on what I recommend on what you can do to help prevent this. Cancer sucks, but we don't need to live in fear. Guys, let's talk about poop. So I'm going to tell you a story about a patient of mine named Shay. Shay was having abdominal pain for quite some time, and no one really knew what to make of it. She knew it was annoying, but really wasn't a big deal. But then one day, she went to the restroom, and all of a sudden she noticed a lot of blood in the toilet. So her doctor immediately sent her to me. We did a colonoscopy, and unfortunately we diagnosed her with colon cancer. But not only that, she had stage 3 colon cancer. She was only 36 years old. Obviously, she and me were shocked to find this. It was not something we typically find in somebody that young. She thought that colon cancer was only an old person's disease. But like I told her, cancer is one of those things that can develop in anybody, even when you're as young in your 30s. She went through chemotherapy and surgery, but unfortunately the cancer already spread to her liver. She's doing all right, still going through treatment, but she understands that the road is going to be long and hard. So what exactly is colon cancer? Colon cancer is a cancer that's in the large intestine or in the colon. And colon cancer actually comes from precancerous lesions called colon polyps. Now the problem with polyps is that they typically don't cause symptoms until it's too late. But these polyps over time do grow into colon cancer. Now polyps may produce few if any symptoms, very similar to a cat burglar going into your house. This is why colonoscopies are invaluable and the best test to find precancerous lesions and remove them. There is no debate about this in the GI world. No matter what test is out there, colonoscopies by far are the most effective tests to find precancerous lesions before they become cancer. We actually want to do this before you actually have symptoms. And our goal is to find these polyps and remove them before they actually become cancer. So what are some of the treatments for colon cancer? So once you have cancer in the colon, it does need to be removed. You have to have surgery to remove that part of the colon, to remove that cancer. And depending on the stage, you may need chemotherapy and or radiation on top of that. So who exactly is at high risk for developing colon cancer? Number one is age. We know for a fact that even though colon cancer doesn't happen in younger individuals, we're seeing more and more people who are young who are developing colon cancer. But by far, the highest age group is age 45 and above. And this is why we recommend anybody who is 45 years old, irregardless of symptoms or family history, needs to get a colonoscopy at least once every 10 years. Number two is family history, especially if you have a first-degree relative that's had colon polyps or colon cancer. This substantially increases your risk for developing this particular disease. Number three, diet. Diet plays a role. We know a diet that's low in fiber, high in meat, high in processed foods does increase your risk of developing colon cancer. Number four is lack of exercise or just kind of a sedentary lifestyle. We know that exercise is great for your gut health, but not only that, it is great to help prevent colon cancer. If you sit around just lounging, eating all the time, you're going to substantially increase your risk for developing cancer. And lastly, obesity. Kind of goes along the same lines of being sedentary. The more fat that you have, the more inflammation you have in your body, and the higher chance of you developing colon cancer. So what are the exact signs and symptoms of colon cancer? Now again, colon cancer often does not show any signs or symptoms until it's too late. However, there are some cardinal red flags that we listen for that makes us think that something else is going on, that something else being cancer. Number one is rectal bleeding. Do not ignore rectal bleeding. I don't care how young you are. I don't care what you think it may be. I don't care if you've had it for quite some time. Rectal bleeding is a warning sign. Do not ignore this. Number two is unexplained weight loss. If you're not trying to lose weight, but you are, you need to get checked out. Number three is a new change in your bowel habits. Let's say you've been constipated your whole life and all of a sudden you're having diarrhea. Get checked out. Let's say you're having diarrhea and all of a sudden you're now constipated. Get checked out. Let's say you've been normal your whole life and all of a sudden you've noticed a change in your bowel caliber and size. Get checked out. Number 4, persistent abdominal pain. If you have this pain in your lower belly, you don't know what's going on, but it's not getting any better, get checked out. And lastly, weakness, fatigue, or anemia. Now, anemia is when your blood count goes low, and that can present as weakness and fatigue. So if you go to your doctor feeling weak and tired, and all of a sudden your blood count is low, you need to see somebody like me to get your colon checked out. So what can you do today to help prevent colon cancer? Here are my tips. Number 1, have a plant-based diet. I can tell you plants are fantastic for your gut health. They decrease inflammation, they give you the foundation to improve your gut health, and they help decrease your risk for developing colon cancer. Try to implement more of a plant-based diet. Number 2, minimize your alcohol. Guys, alcohol is not good for you, even in moderation. It increases the amount of inflammation in your gut, in your liver, and in your colon, and that will increase your risk for developing colon cancer. Number 3, don't smoke. Come on, it's 2022. Why the heck are you smoking? There is nothing good about this. It's terrible for your lungs and terrible for your colon. Number 4, get moving. Exercise. That is great for your gut. That's great for your gut microbiome. It improves your good bacteria and will decrease your risk for developing colon cancer. Number 5, maintain a healthy weight. If you're obese, do what you can to lose that weight. Improve your exercise. Have a nutrition plan. Try to lose that weight. And lastly, number 6, get your colonoscopy. I cannot tell you how important this test is. It allows us to see what's going on, remove those polyps at the same time, and substantially decrease your risk of developing colon cancer. If you don't do anything, do this. This will be the most important thing you can do to minimize and eliminate your risk for developing colon cancer. Here's what I want you to do today. Here's my call to action. If you are 45 years or older, call your doctor to see someone like me to get your colonoscopy. If you have a family history of colon cancer, don't ignore that. Come see me to get this taken care of. We want to make sure you don't become a statistic and suffer from this terrible cancer. So my question today for you guys, what questions do you have about colon cancer, colonoscopies, colon cancer screening? Comment down below. I would love to hear what you guys have to say. I want to thank you for watching. Don't forget to smash that like button. Like, share, and subscribe. And if you haven't already, don't forget to subscribe to our weekly newsletter. We can get great tips and tricks like you're learning in today's video. Guys, don't forget, let's talk about poop. Thanks, everybody.